It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. I've been raking up off these niggas for a minute now. Hey, y'all gonna learn to listen one way or another though. Hey, let's get it. Let me show you how I keep the money coming. Strapped up, Nike check, nigga run it. In the mirror, yeah, I love what I'm becoming. Ain't no discussion, boy, don't make me spit your onion. Ay, let me show you how I keep the money coming. Strapped up, Nike check, nigga run it. In the mirror, yeah, I love what I'm becoming. Ain't no discussion, boy, don't make me spit your onion. Ay, flashback to the days, I was in the days. I was sleeping on the couch, couldn't nobody stay. I was serving up the chicken, couldn't get a raise. Now I'm cooking up the game like I'm Bobby Flay. Fuck rap, I ain't got no friends in this shit. Put them M's to the front like a Benz in this shit. I be swimming through the money, got some fins in this shit. I be stomping through the street like some Timbs in this bitch. Made trends in this shit for some IOUs, but I don't lose. Construction how I tighten them screws. Tie up my shoes, back on the block, straight to the bag, ho. Jumping off the porch for that green like a tadpole. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there. In this particular show, we're going to be getting into Wale, who recently did an interview with Joe Budden and the Joe Budden podcast. Now, I believe this is a Patreon-only episode, so it's not on YouTube if you go and look for it. Maybe within the coming weeks, it'll be released on YouTube, or it may continue to live on Patreon. I don't know what their plan is for it. But a couple things that were covered in the interview that I've seen thus far is one, Wale's continued PTSD in the music industry. I want to go ahead and preface that his PTSD is not based on Diddy. Okay. I know there's a lot of people out there that believe that Wale was the one who was hung over a balcony by Diddy. That was not true. It was actually a woman who was associated with Cassie who was hung over a balcony, allegedly. Okay. So we'll just go ahead and leave that where it's at. But the PTSD that he did address was around the time when No Hands came out. Of course, that's with Roscoe Dash and Waka Flocka Flame, because he actually had gotten dropped by Interscope. This is between him putting out his original album. What was the name of that album? Attention Deficit, and him linking up with Rick Ross. So it was in the between time of him being dropped. He was going to different studios out in Atlanta, just trying to have some motion, try to keep himself active. He ended up making this No Hands record. It's one of the biggest songs of his career. However, he wasn't able to enjoy the fruits of his labor because as Waka and Roscoe got to go out and perform the record and perform it on award shows and things of that nature, he was not admitted to take the stage with them because he did not have label backing. All right. Remember, this is over 10 years ago. The industry was still trying to learn how to work with independent artists or people that were not signed to major labels. So a lot of people at that time were just not able to coincide with their peers that were signed to other labels. And he was off label, and Interscope was basically blocking him from moving about freely for a certain period of time. He's talked in the past about how he went to certain events that he was invited to and got escorted out by Interscope demands, right? So this is something that he's talked about numerous times, but also in the interview, and this is kind of leading into the subject matter of this video, where he spoke about 2013 at the Soul Train Awards, where he had a song called Love Hate Thing that he had put out. And this is a song that he's gotten himself in a bit of trouble numerous times about, right? Around the time that this song came out, I remember him being angry that it wasn't getting the amount of traction that he wanted. It wasn't getting the airplay on radio that he wanted. And at the time he said, if somebody like a Kendrick Lamar or a J Cole were to have made the same record, that it would be getting a lot more love. He felt like the industry was showing favoritism based on things like who you like versus over, somebody who might be a little bit more quiet, that doesn't get the same, whatever it was. He just was feeling overlooked. And that's kind of been the story of Wale for the last decade plus is feeling overlooked, underappreciated, and it's caused him to look very smug in public spaces. It's caused him to kind of lash out on social media at different times to where he got a bad reputation, almost to like the same thing that Meek Mill kind of goes through. In recent years, he's gotten better handle on that. But as he did this interview, it kind of harkened back to some of those things. So at the Soul Train Awards, he said that the song was nominated for an award, and he performed that year at the show. And he claims that somebody had tapped him on the shoulder, I guess, either before or after the performance, and said, "Yo, you're about to get an award for Love Hate Thing," or whatever that song is. So, lo and behold, he doesn't win it. He claims that Kendrick Lamar won it. The video comes out online, and Wale don't understand. Mentioning Kendrick Lamar name in 2025 ain't the same as mentioning Kendrick Lamar name in 2013, 2014. It is a whole slew of people that are ready to pounce on your ass if you say anything that is inaccurate or perhaps to be perceived as inflammatory towards Kendrick. Niggas is on your motherfucking ass, right? So he said that Kendrick won the award, but in the background, he still ended up winning, right? So Kendrick, he says, got announced at the show as the winner, but they still ended up sending him the award that was supposed to be his. This actually was a mistake on Wale's part. Okay, so it was actually revealed that the category that Love Hate Thing and Kendrick Lamar were both nominated in, the award actually went to, Robin Thicke, if I'm not mistaken. So Robin Thicke ended up winning, but I believe he still ended up getting the award sent to his house. Maybe. The other thing is he was up for, I think, best hip hop song or something like that with Bad, which is a super popular song, even the more popular song than Love Hate Thing, that he did win over, I believe, Poetic Justice by Kendrick Lamar. So he did end up winning that night, just not the award that he originally said. But this ended up becoming a thing on social media. A lot of people started, pointing in his direction, saying he's a hater, saying that, his long-held resentment for Kendrick Lamar is oozing out. And they're basically shitting on him, telling him, put out better music and you won't have to talk about these things. You won't be feeling so bad about your career if your music was better and all this type of stuff, which, for people that like Wale music, even that, I'm a Wale fan. I feel like he's put out some pretty good songs. He just has a very unorthodox style. Not everybody's going to get it. Not everybody's going to like it. But I think he's put out some pretty good music throughout the course of his career. You know what I mean? I just think that when it gets to that comparison thing, it gets tricky, right? So I'm going to play audio of the Joe Budden interview where he talks about this, so y'all can hear it directly from him. And then I'm going to get into how the people online corrected him. And he ended up actually admitting his mistake.
This is what you call PTSD of this whole industry shit. I was performing at the Soul Train Awards, and before you win your award, they tap you like you're about to win. So I remember, if I say who it was that was doing the awards, it might be problems. But
that would really juice this up.
Yeah, somebody was like, "Yo," so that's like, "You about to win for Love Hate Thing, the one you just played." He's like, "You about to win for Love Hate Thing," and I was like, "The winner is Kendrick Lamar for such and such," and I was like, "Why did y'all just tell me I won?" And at the commercial, they tapped me, like, "That was our mistake. That's really your awards." And I'm just like,
wait, what?
How you think that do your brain after years? Like, oh.
But wasn't there like an envelope with his name on it?
I still, to this day, I don't know what that envelope said, because they gave me my award after like went in commercial and our bad, my bad, and I still had to perform.
Wait, they never announced it?
Oh, wait, so
they
you
didn't even clean it
won?
up?
And they didn't announce
Oh, it
the
was
correction?
it was before the performance.
Holy
That's
shit.
crazy.
And when I be like, when I used to be lunching on the timeline and stuff, like, it'd be stuff like that had happened, but it's like I can't say nothing because I don't want to make no more enemies. I don't want
Yeah.
be.
All right. So he said back in the days when he would come out and say these things on a timeline or whatever, and people would wonder why Wale is mad, he felt like he was being, I wouldn't say blackballed, but being mistreated by the industry, right? Not being publicly shown the same love that people wanted to show him behind the scenes. That's what he's saying. Like they didn't want to give it to him on the during the broadcast, but then they gave it to him behind the scenes type of thing. And again, there were different things that I think Wale has valid reasons for, like going to different parties and award shows and things of that nature where he was being blocked. But I also think when somebody such as a Wale has gone through those things, he can start viewing other things. And this is kind of what happens to people that, go through different levels of trauma, go through different levels of mistreatment, or go through different levels of whatever it may be of negative events. You become jaded to the point where even some things that may not necessarily be done nefariously, you view them as if they are. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, this was fucked up, this was fucked up, this was fucked up. This was an honest mistake. But because I've been through XYZ that was fucked up, I'm going to view this mistake as if it was deliberately done, right? But what was not deliberately done was him misquoting the events of that evening. So shout out to Chillin' with Moni. She went out and did the research to go figure out where the source of confusion was coming from, and she fact checked the fuck out of this nigga. So she says, can you post your award, Wale? Because it says neither you or Kendrick won that award. Robin Thicke won. You did, however, win, but it wasn't for love-hate thing. You won for bad. So what's the truth? So she pulls up the Wikipedia, I believe, of the events of that night at the 2013 Soul Train Awards. This one is Robin Thicke featuring T.I. and Pharrell. They won for Blurred Lines. We see Wale down here for Love Hate Thing. However, the only Kendrick Lamar song in this particular category is How Many Drinks, which is Miguel featuring Kendrick, right? And they didn't win. Also, we have J. Cole featuring Miguel. Wasn't that a nice time in music when Miguel was out here fucking still doing shit, dropping solo and features? That was a nice time. But yeah, we see he was in the category. He claims somebody won. Looks like Robin Thicke did for the one that Love Hate Thing was nominated in. Maybe he got an award for this behind the scenes. I don't know. But then for Best Hip Hop Song of the Year, he actually did win for Bad featuring Tiara Thomas. In the category, we had Drake Started From the Bottom, J. Cole once again with Power Trip featuring Miguel, Jay-Z, Holy Grail featuring Justin Timberlake, Kendrick Lamar featuring Drake, Poetic Justice, and Nicki Minaj featuring Lil Wayne with High School. So he did take home an award that night. I wonder what it actually says on the award that he has at home, just to clarify. Furthermore, Chillin' with Moni comes back. She says, shout out to Wale for DMing me and letting me know he wasn't trying to start any mess. However, as an up-and-coming journalist with a degree, it really annoys me when platforms don't do their due diligence. Wale says he performed at the 2013 Soul Train Awards. He did. And then they told him he was going to win an award for Love Hate Thing. But they announced Kendrick as the winner. The truth is, neither him or Kendrick Lamar won. Robin Thicke won. Wale won the award for Bad. E40 and Mac Wilds announced him as the winner for Hip Hop Song of the Year. Wale ended up leaving, so they accepted the award for him. The confusion comes in because right after they cut to commercial, they showed a tape recording of Kendrick accepting his award for Album of the Year. No one was cheated. No one lied. Video proof attached. She says, do better research to clarify. So she asked Joe Budden, which I don't necessarily think that that's on Joe Budden. That's Wale for misquoting the situation. Joe Budden's job is to ask questions, hear the artist out, and they released it. So I don't think that's on him. Plus, Joe Budden is not John Liddell, who put this out with this framing. So Joe gets shit on for a lot. I don't think he should be getting shit on for this one, though, personally. So here is the actual clip of Wale winning for Best Hip Hop Song in 2013.
For surely, but only one can take home the Best Hip Hop Song of the Year award.
So here are the nominees.
Bad, Wale featuring Tiara Thomas. High School, Nicki Minaj featuring Lil Wayne. Holy Grail,
Simpler
Jay-Z
times in hip
featuring
hop.
Justin Timberlake. Poetic Justice, Kendrick Lamar featuring Drake. Power Trip, J. Cole featuring Miguel. Started from the bottom, Drake.
And the winner is Wale.
Wale had to leave early. We accept this award on his behalf.
Soul Train Awards. I'm overwhelmed right now. Thank you for this award. I want to thank Centric and the whole Soul Train staff, the family. Thank you for supporting me all year. And for sure, my fans, this is for y'all. It's a blessing to be here. Thank you so much.
Cash Money Records taking over for the 9-9 and
Yeah, so that was E40 and Mac Wiles presenting Wale's award. He dipped out. So clearly, maybe there was something to that. I don't know. Maybe he won 2 that night. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Wale should go check his award case or whatever. Do you got 2 from that year? Because it's possible that he did win that Best Hip Hop Song, and maybe behind the scenes he won the love-hate thing. Probably not. That Robin Thicke joint with Pharrell and T.I. was a huge record. Blurred Lines was big shit at the time. But maybe, right? Because he left early, so I'm wondering if perhaps he left early because of not winning the award when they tapped him and told him he would. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Nonetheless, this does seem like the more viable story, where he dipped and then they showed Kendrick holding an award. So maybe he felt like, damn, they just announced me, but they showed him holding my shit. Which also, if you just read, it said album of the year, not hip hop song of the year. So, you know, again, I think Wale is just somebody who's had a tough shake in the industry, and he started internalizing things that weren't even shots at him, as everybody was against him. So as this situation started to make more rounds on Twitter, we then get this guy here. If you don't spend a lot of time on Twitter, if you're not engaging in Kendrick Lamar and artist related topics on this site, you wouldn't know who this person is, but I've definitely seen him quite a bit. This guy, Jay, You Only Live 2 Times. He is a Drake stan. So he gets online and he says, I think it's time that we all admit that Kendrick Lamar is and has always been an industry plant. Okay. So now this situation then gets perverted. It gets taken. Wale was voicing his misguided frustration from years past. But now the OV hoes have it, and now they're trying to use it to create narratives or bolster narratives that they've already been pushing, right? So he says that. Now Wale comes under the post and he says, "Def not. He got it out the mud like we all did. This was just an embarrassing moment for me at Soul Train. That's it. He earned his spot and he reaping from it 2,000%. Right? So Wale comes in, he clears it up that he meant no harm, which he also DM'd Moni the same, that he didn't mean any harm towards Kendrick. Somebody says, Wale, did you get the songs mixed up? This was during the 2013 Soul Train Awards, right? Was it for Song of the Year or for your song Bad? He says, yes, my bad, as in he did get the songs mixed up. He says, it's not that deep, but I see what people try and do. And when he says, I see what people try and do, he's basically saying he's catching on to the fact that people are now trying to pit him and Kendrick Lamar versus each other and, you know, are basically going to try to create a hate campaign to get Wale to fuck up out the paint, right? Which hopefully people don't galvanize to. I understand that there's a lot of people that are protective of Kendrick, and anything that gets said in jest about him or anything that gets taken out of context or proportion about him, it tends to create a lot of, emotional responses. But I'm hoping that people can actually take what Wale is saying and his admission of making a mistake and just keeping it there. Because we don't really need to like just clear out any and everybody from the industry. So as the heat began to collect on Wale, he says, okay, here you go. I got the category mixed up. It happened a long time ago, and it has nothing to do with any artist. It was an embarrassing moment on national TV that messed with my head. That's it. That's what we were getting at. I have the award at my mom's house. I'm not complaining. I was just telling a story about what I've experienced. And once again, I think that it's just, he got the situation mixed up. He says it was an embarrassing moment, but honestly, it shouldn't have been an embarrassing moment to begin with, because there was nothing embarrassing about you winning for Best Hip Hop Song of the Year and you were already gone, and then they showed Kendrick. Because the two actually were unrelated. It just happened to happen. You know what I mean? I can understand the confusion, because why did they show him accepting the award for Best Hip Hop Album right after yours got off? There typically would be an announcement of that album on the televised version of the show. So that could create confusion. But again, you didn't get announced for winning Best Hip Hop Album. So it shouldn't have been embarrassing. It could have been confusing, but embarrassing, I still don't get. Now, whatever that was about them tapping him saying he was going to win for love-hate thing and not getting it, I don't know what that is. Maybe he was under the impression he was supposed to get it, and I still believe that could have contributed to him leaving. But, yeah, strange, man. This is when memory betrays you. Someone else came in to correct him. They said this is false. Wale performing about 15 minutes into the show. Robin Thicke winning, not Wale. Love-hate thing 5 minutes later. Wale says, overdubbed. I didn't leave early that day. But again, this is getting too dark. I don't care no more. I have no reason to lie, and I have no reason to not fuck with bro. Okay? So, he says he didn't leave early at all. So he don't even understand why he wasn't able to accept his award, because he claims he didn't leave early. So maybe there was some sort of weird energy going on at the award show. I wasn't there. But again, his remarks are being taken as slick, dry Kendrick hate. And I hope, the audience over here can at least be objective to take in what's going on rather than just jump on his head. But let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider, and I will catch y'all on the next one, all right? Once again, thank you to everybody that's continuing to vote for me in the Global Citizen Festival contest. I'm still in first place. On the 12th, they will be switching over to the top 15. Votes will then continue, and I guess for another month or so, we'll still be in the voting process to see who gets it, all right? I'm going to see y'all in a little bit. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming, I swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda, we hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer, we come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest, but drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries, stand for my honor. But too raw, no corner, packing the stick with a drummer. When I catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.